fellow collectors, welcome back to Busy Bee from Germany. I'm Busy Bee from Germany, and today I have a very special topic for you all. Collecting vintage Barbie dolls, especially the early ones, has become harder in the last years. But why is it so? Let's explore it today. One of the things I have seen that less dolls with a good quality were offered for an affordable price. So prices have risen. Then we have less trustworthy sources. Sometimes you have older collectors that sell a lot of their own collection. And I have realized that the amount of these older collectors has fallen somehow, at least in the German-speaking area. I don't know if you have experienced this too, but also a lot of vintage Barbie doll shops closed. I don't know if it was due to the COVID pandemic or if there was another reason, but somehow this is also a point that came up in the last years, and the overseas shipping costs have risen in the last years. Sometimes it's up to 50% just what you pay for the shipping. It's not unusual that you pay up to $50 just to get a parcel from the United States nowadays. And you really have to think twice if you want this or not when you are located somewhere in Europe, because you have to pay taxes for everything that you ship to Europe. And in the last years the laws will change again, so that you have to pay even the donation fees for everything you buy from overseas, and you really have to think twice if you really want to do this in the future anymore. So when you don't have the shops anymore, where can you get the vintage Barbie dolls? I know when you are in the United States, you have sometimes the opportunity to get them at sale estates. We don't have such sale estates in Europe, but I know it's common when a property is sold, then the whole stuff of this property is sold too, and then you are able to find sometimes vintage Barbie dolls. So that's a thing for my overseas viewers. Go to an estate sale. You might be in the right place at the right time, and then you find such a Ponytail Barbie doll. In Europe, it was common to go to flea markets for a long time, and you had sometimes the opportunity to buy them there. But in the last 20 years, this option went down to almost 0%. Sometimes there are here and there a few collectors who report about their flea market finds, but that's not the big chance to find these dolls anymore. You still have the chance to buy these dolls at auctions, but chances are that sometimes you get them for a good price, and sometimes these auctions are totally overpriced. So you have to invest a lot of time and investigate the prices and have a look at this auction and that auction, and sometimes you really have to be the watchdog to watch a lot of these auctions to find out what is the average price for the dolls and what are you willing to pay. That does not mean that you cannot have no opportunity to find them for less than the average price, but this option has also become one of the options that is not so common anymore. I know 20 years ago it was no problem when you used eBay or another auction platform. You had good chances to buy the dolls for a good price, but the demand is, I think it's bigger than the offer that's offered, and So we have here an imbalance. There are still a few dealers where you can buy vintage Barbie dolls, but it's not really good for your bank account, because most of the time you pay more than you would pay if you would pay it for an average price. So if you want something very, very urgently and there is a special doll you want to have without any comments, thoughts on your bank account, well, then yes, you can go to the auction sites and the dealers and you can buy them there. It's still a way to go, but check the amount in your bank before you buy. Sometimes additional fees come on top, so do this before you buy anything. Check it out. Here are a few tips what you can do to not deal with the problems I mentioned before. It's that you build your own network. It's always good to have a network of other doll enthusiasts, and not have to be collectors, but at least enthusiasts who might help you if you want to find something rare and they see it, and then they can inform you or they can ship it to you when you don't have the opportunity to buy it directly. Another way is to save money and invest in a few good dolls if you really want to have one of the early ones, because you know the quantity of the production was not super big, and this has also caused a high demand for a limited amount of dolls. And my best advice for you is keep your eyes open, because you don't know whenever you experience the opportunity to find a early vintage Barbie doll. Sometimes when you don't expect it, it happens, and the best advice here is that you keep your eyes open. Think of my parcel from January that I got from another collector, and I have never expected to get what I got. I really hope you like my little video here and I could give you some new aspects of how to find rare Ponytail Barbie dolls from the early years, and why the search has become so much harder than it was 20 years ago. So please don't forget to share, like and subscribe. See you very soon. Your Busy Bee from Germany. Bye and happy collecting!